will now speak on behalf of the Associate of Arts degree recipients.
I would just like to thank Nina for that amazing speech. Thank you so much. Most of us probably never thought we would become Simon's Rockers. I first heard about the school from a friend of my sister's. I was looking to leave high school and Simon's Rock seemed like a pretty good option. Although at first I didn't view it as a step towards something, but more as a step away from something. However, that all changed once I got here. In high school, I was your standard overachiever, captain of the basketball team, valedictorian of junior class, and president of student council. But here, people were more interested in how much Chomsky or bell hooks I had read, as opposed to the positions I had held in high school. So you could say Simon's Rock was an entirely different place. A place filled with intellectual curiosity and sexual curiosity, as well as new academic challenges. I was overwhelmed in my first semester at Simon's Rock, and I didn't know how exactly I fit in with our freshman class. There was the crowd that lived at the gazebo, the boys that lived in Dolliver Lounge, and the science kids that were always at Think Tank, but I didn't know how exactly I fit in. Slowly, I came to realize that the best way to fit in at Simon's Rock is to be different. It sounds cliche, but we're all about challenging and changing the status quo, finding a niche all to our own. From our fluid identities to our transformative views on feminism and our ever-changing hairstyles, Simon's Rockers are consistently inconsistent. What I found was that the way that I fit in at Simon's Rock, the way that I'm different, is that I'm into competitive sports. In my first semester at Simon's Rock, I was featured in Sports Illustrated for being the high score on both the Simon's Rock women's and men's basketball teams. But the only reason I played on the men's team was because only 3 rockers showed up for the game. You see, it's more difficult than you think to convince a rocker to leave campus on a Saturday when they have a paper to do for Bernie or a lab report for Patty. Or what's more often the case, they have to do both. We on the team didn't think anything of it, of my playing on the men's team. Simon's Rockers are always questioning gender anyway, so the distinction was moot to us. But it wasn't moot to Sports Illustrated. They saw my playing against and outscoring boys as an anomaly, and they took notice. At first, I found it humorous. Yet, the more I thought about it, the more I found it contrary to the ideals of equality that I was learning to strive for at Simon's Rock. Prior to my coming to Simon's Rock, I was convinced that we lived in a meritocracy where feminism was unnecessary and patriarchy was thrown out with the petticoat. But my Simon's Rock sociology and anthropology courses have taught me otherwise. Simon's Rock classrooms and basketball courts have been teaching me that the world's problems are vast, and that the solutions are even more daunting. But my education has also given me a sense of hope, because it's liberal arts institutions like Simon's Rock that are the first steps towards crafting attainable solutions, by teaching us to identify, analyze, and articulate the problems that we face. Having the privilege to study at this institution should give us a sense of obligation to carry what we have learned with us as we begin our work in this world. We, as the Simons Rock AA graduates of 2014, need to remember how much time and resources we have invested in our thoughts, that our parents have invested in our thoughts, and that the faculty and staff here have invested in our thoughts, and that these thoughts are valuable to our lives and potentially to the lives of others. Let us never forget our discomfort with complacency and keep challenging the status quo. Whether it's changing your hair color, batting or dribbling on the other team, or changing the world. Let us never forget what it means to be a Simons Rocker, for we have a lot more work to do.